I don't think about it. About you leaving me. I don't know who I'd be. Would everything we built just turn?
Good morning, squad. Welcome back to day 2 of our little Zion trip here. Today's an exciting day because we got approved for the Angels Landing lottery. So Angels Landing is probably one of the most infamous hikes in Zion, but recently they changed the hike to you need to have a permit because it would get so busy, and the top section is pretty dangerous and narrow and there's so many people. So they did a permit system to try to mitigate the traffic there. So yesterday we didn't get a permit. Today we did get the permit. So super stoked heading into the park, and should be another fun, beautiful day.
With all the possibilities, we don't think about it.
I am admittedly running late behind my scheduled permit time, so I hope it's not a huge issue, but I didn't want to waste any more time getting up here, so we're gonna let it rip. Hopefully we'll make it. The hike here is to the top 5.5 miles round trip, 4 hours, 1,500 feet of vertical. It gets pretty gnarly towards the top here, so give it a go. So I would break this hike down into like 3 main sections. You have the first one that kind of gets you off the valley floor and kind of gets you back in the terrain. And then the second main section is called Walter's Wiggles. It's like a series of about 20 switchbacks that kind of get you up on top of the rim here, that then gets you to kind of overlook the whole canyon. Then you have the third and final sector, which is the actual climb, the infamous sort of narrow climb with the chains and stuff like that. That is what you need the actual permit for. So far they haven't checked any permits. I don't see anyone at the base of the chains checking either. I think it's, I think on really busy days they would check, and they have the right to, but it might also just be a way to discourage the crowds. So final section here is, the most exhilarating and definitely dangerous if you're not careful. There's definitely some no-fall zones. So I'm gonna put the big camera away, kind of just rip a GoPro till we get up there. But the trickiest part, honestly, is just the sand on the stone. It creates a very slippery surface, but just got to be careful. We're going all the way up there. said this multiple times, skiing, stuff like that, but I am not a huge fan of heights. So one thing, when I look down, my stomach gets all weird, and I think that's what that means. So getting a little too close to the edge kind of makes me queasy, but I think we're almost there. And we have made it to the top of Angel's Landing, onto the very top of the rim. That's probably my third or fourth time doing that, and it gets easier the more I do it, but there's certainly sections on that climb that there's no chain, and it's like if you, for whatever reason, slip or take a wrong sort of step, it could end very tragically, and that is why people have perished up here. But as long as you're smart about it, give each other space, there really should be no issue. But it was a very nice experience. I don't know if it was the permit system or what, but definitely not as crowded as I anticipated it to be. Then when you get up here, 360-degree views of Zion. Just incredible, incredible stuff. Unreal. Unreal. Places where you can just sit up here seemingly all day long. You just continue to look this way, then turn around, look down the canyon that way. Just as like, the more you look, the more things you see, the difference in the terrain and stuff like that. So it's quite spectacular. Especially on a day like this where it's not like overwhelmingly hot, you have a nice little breeze, it's beautiful up here. But I will say the chipmunks are just relentless. They're ruthless. They'll just come right up to you, get on your backpack, on your legs, because they're so used to people feeding them that they're fearless. So I think it's quite annoying because you're up here trying to enjoy stuff and you gotta like make sure they're not jumping in your backpack and stuff like that. So I mean, I gotta give it to the chipmunks because that's probably the way that they survive, is off people's food. But you can see just like all this is where we just were. You drive up through the canyon and all that, so pretty spectacular. We have made it back to the same exact campsite that I was at last night, which is pretty awesome. This place has been very unpopulated. It looks like a group, some young adults right there. So I do have some neighbors this time, but I am no meteorologist. I will say that looks like a wall of rain coming our way, so it might make for a interesting night up here. It's a really nice spot. I think I am going to level up my left side a little bit. I feel like I am tilted, so I'm gonna throw some leveling blocks, hopefully make it a bit nicer.
It scares you like it scares me. What do we do with all the possibilities? Doesn't it scare you like it scares me? What do we do?
Well, she's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was. Because today is Wednesday, we are going to be live streaming from this spot using Starlink, and I have noticed when using Starlink, works a lot better if you can give it some time to actually boot up, acquire satellites, rather than turn it on within 15 minutes, be doing what you need to do. It works, but specifically for streaming and stuff like that, if it can be up for a good hour, the connection I found is a lot better. So I'm gonna throw the satellite up, get that going. gonna be trying a little bit of a different live stream angle in the van. Usually I kind of stream like that way. I'm gonna try to give it a little bit more depth, see how that works. Not a little bad spot for the live stream, so we are 1 minute away.
We
So
don't
we gotta go.
talk about it.